Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, boys and girls, hopefully you're not watching this show. This is not for children. It's not that bad though if you do watch it. But I'm just gonna say it's not for children, just for safety reasons. This is JHouze Radio episode 59. Your boy KJ and the most magnificent Los is back on the ones and twos. How's it going, Los? How's life? How you been? What's new?
Good. Just tired. Wanted to show off my new shirt from Geek Fuel. I don't know if you
Okay,
recognize this.
let's see it. Oh, wait, the background. There you go. Pitbull. No, I don't recognize that, actually.
Hold on. I don't know if you can see the bottom of it. Well,
Oh, no, I got.
the logo of the hoverboard that Biff used in Back to the Future.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, it was Bulldog hoverboard, and I think it says on the bottom, hoverboards now with even more power, established 2015.
Jeez, that is a deep cut of a shirt right there for sure, especially
Yeah.
for our Back to the Future fans out there. Legion, what's up in chat, buddy? How you doing? Rip for KJ uniform. Oh yeah, Legion was expecting me to wear the traditional KJ uniform, you know, the tank tops and the boots. E- everybody's requesting the tank tops and the boots.
Hey,
One
man.
one day it'll happen.
It's on those special movies.
Exactly. With the blue jeans, he says. Jeez Louise. Anybody who is checking out the audio version, don't forget you guys can check us out live. We go live on youtube.com/the JHouze. We're also live on Twitch as well at the same time. Twitch.tv/JHouze Radio. Don't forget, join our Discord. Los and I are in there from time to time. We hang out in there. We post. We talk to the community. So that will be the link to our Discord will be in our show notes. Check that out. On the East Coast, it's been getting warm lately. I've been enjoying some like decent weather over here. It's been nice to get something above 70 degrees. So getting ready for summertime.
I'm actually excited about cleaning my truck.
Really?
It's not warm enough to clean it.
Yeah, I feel like when it's nice outside, it inspires you to clean your car more compared to when it's cold.
I used to clean my truck every Sunday religiously.
Mm-hmm.
My truck was always spotless.
Yeah.
Then comes my girlfriend, who thinks of my truck as an extension of her pockets, of her bags, and everything else.
Jeez Louise.
No, bro. I mean, my truck was spotless, bro. I used to come with a toothpick, make sure there was nothing messy in
Really?
there. Oh, you kidding me? My truck used to be spotless, bro. Spotless. I would even take my cologne and spray on some
Oh,
of the
come
stuff.
on. Are
No,
you
bro.
serious?
Swear to God. So that way, when you got into my truck, my car. Well, I always had a truck, so
Mhm.
the Bronco always smelled like DeJarum, so that was fine. But the Explorer, right? Like that smelled like my cologne. So people are like, "Oh my God, it smells so nice in here."
Smells like Los.
You know. And that way, if
Jeez.
any girl got into my truck, if she was messing with some other guy, you know, it smelled like me all over
It
her.
smelled like you.
And it would just ruin her little game. You know what I'm trying to say?
The man
That
come
was
up
back
to
in
his
the day.
girl and be like, "Why do you smell like Los?" I don't
Exactly.
know, baby. I don't know.
And mind you, at that time, my friend Seneca used to buy me these colognes from Europe. So
Mhm.
you couldn't the ones you couldn't get here in the States. So like I was the only one who had that particular cologne.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez Louise. Los and his stories, man.
Bro, I was back in the day, bro. Now I'm like fucking
Now you're practically married, man.
you kidding, bro? My girl lives with me, bro. Let me for all intents
Yeah.
and purposes, I'm married, bro. You know? Like you gotta have those blinders on when you walk outside. You're like, nope, I don't see nothing.
Keep your head down and look forward. That's it. Don't look at
Exactly. Like,
anything,
oh,
guys.
look at my shoes. They're so nice.
Exactly. I mean, for me, when it comes to my car, when that all changed, I think it was when I had kids. Because I was the same way. I kept my car squeaky clean. Like I didn't eat in my car. Dirt was not allowed to even exist in my car. Once I had kids, that stopped immediately.
No,
It just
I
stopped.
was with my ex Anna, and she used to bring her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and still every Sunday I would clean the truck, and she used to come. Mind you, she was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She used to come with me outside to help me clean the truck. You know.
Wow, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right.
So
I feel you, man. So today, guys, we have a lot to talk about today. One of our main topics that we're going to jump into later is Kevin Smith apparently wants to Snyder cut one of his movies, which is going to be interesting to talk about. We're going to also add our little opinions on what we think should be Snyder cut as far as film, or what we think should be remade as far as video games. But before we jump into that, got a few other small topics I want to jump into, which is Moon Knight. We're in episode 3. I know Los, you kind of caught up, kind of.
yes, I'm
What?
halfway through episode 3,
Okay.
so I can talk about episodes 1 and 2.
Okay.
And 3, I'm halfway through, so I can only talk about half, and I don't care about spoilers, so you could tell me the whole thing.
Okay. Well, since I've finished all 3, I want to get your take on it first. What do you think of the show so far? We don't have to go per episode. We can just do overall since we've seen all the episodes. Spoiler alert for anybody who has not caught up yet.
Well, I'd have to do it by episode, because the first one I was just kind of like, oh my god, what is this? Because I'm not a Moon Knight fan in the comic books, so I'm coming in completely fresh. This is the first time I've ever seen a Marvel property where I don't have any information on the comic book. So for
Okay.
me, it's really bizarre not to know what's going on.
Okay.
So at first I was like, what is this? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt sorry for the fish with one fin.
Yeah, me too. Just a little bit.
Yeah. But then the second episode came and it fixed everything. Like, I literally said to myself, within 10 minutes of the second episode, if it doesn't get better, I'm done.
It's so
And
funny. I felt that same way.
and then it fixed itself really quick, really good, and then I was hooked. So I'm in the middle of watching the third episode. I was ready to call you up and go, listen, I gotta take a shit or something,
Oh
just so I can
man.
finish watching it. But yeah, it really is good.
Okay. Me, I'm a little torn right now. First episode, same thing. I was a little confused. I kind of felt the same way that I felt when I watched the first episode of WandaVision, where I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. It's a little interesting. It's a little different, but I felt like I just felt lost. I didn't know what's happening. Episode 2 did kind of clear things up a little bit for me. But by episode 3, and I'm not going to give away too much spoilers, but by episode 3, I was just like, all right, it's good. I like the chemistry, between the main characters. Moon Knight as a superhero, so to speak, is pretty cool. But I'm just like, it's just okay for me. It's just an okay Marvel show. I'm not excited about it. I'm not really thrilled by anything
Well,
with the show.
the way the show originally was framed in episode 1, excuse me, was it felt more like mental illness. And
Yes.
then the second episode really it came alive. And you felt like, oh, okay, there is a story here. There is something going on.
Yeah.
And because when you saw that the jackal chase him and there was nothing really behind him, I
Yeah.
said, oh man, this guy's just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's imagining these things. So we're going to watch this and it's not real. It's all in his head. And then it quickly fixes itself. And then when he fights a jackal the second time, you just get to see that he's cloaked. And when you when Layla threw water on him,
Yeah.
on the jackal, you could see it, and things like that. So it made me go, okay, there's a mythology here. Like, you have to be blessed or cursed to kind of see what these creatures are.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it seems like to me, honestly. Because at first I was a little confused too. Like, wait, some people can see it, only he can see it. Wait, who can see it? So it was kind of confusing to me. The lore behind it and the whole mythological element behind it, with in regards to some of the creatures and myths from Egypt, that stuff's interesting. I like that stuff. I love Egyptian lore and things like that. So that aspect of it is really interesting to me, and it's kind of keeping me wanting to keep watching it. Um, the guy who plays the main character, what is his name? Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Yes, he's amazing. I
Yeah.
actually really like him. The fact that he goes from one accent to another at like a snap of a finger, and then it's just I like his character. I just think overall the show is just so far it's okay. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's just okay so far to me right now. So I don't know. But like I said, I love the look of Moon Knight as a character. I love the fact that he has um like I said, this is minor spoilers. You can practically see it in the poster. I like that he has two looks. So
Yeah.
the one look that he has with the hood and stuff like that, that's when he's playing that's when
Mark,
yes, that's when he's playing Mark. And then when he has the
the
like the
white suit.
mummification loot, yeah, the white suit, I think that's cool. And then that's when he's playing the other guy. I forgot his name.
Steven.
Steven. Yeah, so that aspect is cool. It's pretty much almost as if he has like three personalities at this point. It seems like it. So
I
it seems
know in the
cool.
comic book he has five.
Five. Wow, interesting. Okay.
Five, yeah, because I looked it up real quick. Five personalities.
Okay. Well, yeah,
And
there
Mark is
was
the dominant one.
yes. And there was that moment. I don't know if you remember in episode 3. I think you should have gotten to this point because it was pretty early, where he was like, "Oh, who killed that guy?" And then Mark was like, "I didn't do it." And then the other guy said, "I didn't." I mean, Steven said, "I didn't do it either." So it's like, okay, so who killed the guy? So I'm guessing there's like that's one of the other personalities that you're talking about. Since there's
Yeah,
five, we didn't get to see I guess the third or the fourth one yet. So I'm guessing that's who it was.
yeah.
So once that happened, I was like, okay, so there's another one inside him. That's interesting. So I'm just curious to see where it goes. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's fun, it's interesting. I wonder what role Moon Knight is going to play in the future of the MCU. Like, where is he gonna fit?
Well, Moon Knight is kind of Marvel's answer to Batman. Um,
Okay,
but they don't play him like Batman. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he isn't the the multimillionaire. He's more like the detective. But to me, he seems more like the Question than Batman.
yeah, I would definitely say that he does seem like more like a question kind of character. Dark Knight in
Yeah.
chat says, I thought there were nine characters.
Well, I mind you, I did a 5 second search to see how many personalities there were. There could
Okay,
be nine. Maybe the five I read was five that are going to be shown on the show.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I did a quick search, so
that's a
I could be
possibility.
wrong.
That's a
I could be
possibility.
very wrong.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting, like you said, the whole detective idea. We have Steven who kind of knows all the lore and the like the whole mythological element behind Egypt. And then we have the other guy who's pretty much the badass, who's quick to punch and instead of ask questions, basically, Mark. So it's gonna be cool to see how both of those characters intertwine throughout the show. And like I said, to see what the future of Moon Knight is in the MCU. I'm pretty sure by the end of the season, we're gonna probably see some kind of connection with another character, maybe in
Now,
the MCU.
the thing that gets me is I thought I was pretty well versed in Egyptian lore and mythology, like very casually.
Yeah.
Especially since what I've seen from documentaries and what I've actually learned from Stargate, out of all shows, because that's wrapped up with Egyptian mythology.
Mhm.
Seriously, if you watch Stargate, like the first, I think it's 7 or 8 seasons, it's all about Egyptian mythology. You know, like
Interesting.
Horus and everything else, and you learn all about it. And I was like, oh, okay, I've never heard of this one. It actually makes me want to Google Egyptian mythology to
Yeah.
see what they're talking about.
Yeah, like it does like after watching the first 3 episodes, it makes me want to look into it more. I'm like, wow, so does this really exist or is this just made for TV? Because some of the stuff they talk about in the show is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Well, Marvel is very much tries to stick to You know, I mean, look at Thor. You know, everyone he talks about is actually Viking gods and stuff.
Yeah.
So, based on that, I would think they would follow through with Egypt also.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just glad, you know, that the TV landscape is changing. Like now, you're starting to see more and more Latinos in there, even if they're hidden. Because Oscar Isaac is Guatemalan and Cuban, born in
Really?
Guatemala, raised in Miami. Um, so he's a Latino through and through. At first, I thought that he was like Santiago Cabrera, who's in Star Trek Picard. He was also in Heroes. Remember Heroes, that TV
Yeah.
show? He was the artist in Heroes season 1.
Wow. I didn't even realize.
Santiago Cabrera, the one from Picard. And
Wow.
now we have Oscar, but Santiago Cabrera was like he was raised in England.
Hmm.
So, and I thought the same thing for Oscar Isaac, and I looked it up. No, he's from Miami. He's American. But
That's
man, he
crazy.
pulled that accent off
He
good.
pulled that England accent, that English accent off amazing. I thought he's from
What
England.
I know, well, you know what I want to know is, remember we had that one viewer that's from England who made fun of me when I was just joking
Oh,
around with the English accents.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I wish that person was on because we could ask him how well did he do with the accent, and what part of England is that accent from?
Remind me later. I think they're in Discord. I'll have to ask them in Discord how they did, because man, he did that accent well. I literally thought he's from England for sure. And I was like, wait, what? When you told me he was Latino, I was like, you're kidding me. Like he is so diverse, man. So diverse. Like props to that guy. He is freaking awesome. Before we jump into our next topic, I did kind of want to touch base on one of my favorite actors of all times, Bruce Willis. He is suffering from a form of dementia called aphasia. As aphasia.
Aphasia, yes.
It's sad, man. I just want to touch base on that real quick. I don't know if anybody knew about it, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring that to light and just wish the best of luck to him, man.
Well, here's the thing. Aphasia, what happens is you lose the ability to communicate.
Yeah,
So your brain scrambles your words. So you cannot express yourself, you know,
yeah,
where things get just jumbled and garbled up, where it affects your vocals, it affects your speech. If you're deaf and you speak in sign language, it affects your sign language. It affects the communication portion of your brain. But it also makes you understand why he did so many direct to video movies. He was trying to earn all this money to bankroll for his family.
oh, that's why he was doing that.
Yep.
That makes
And it
sense.
also explains why he was asking for so much money to do so little work. People thought it was ego. Maybe it was a simple fact that he's trying to save money for his family.
Yeah, I do remember there was a time period where he was like a lot of people were saying that Bruce Willis was asking for so much money for just like the littlest film, and now that kind of makes money now. I mean, now that kind of makes sense now, you know.
Yeah.
So that sucks, man. I mean, I hope he gets the help that he needs, and best of luck to his family, man, because that's got to be hard to go through that. Got
Yeah.
to be
Plus,
hard.
it's incurable.
Oh, it's incurable
It's
too.
incurable. Like, you can only treat a little bit of it, you know?
Jeez.
And the thing is, like, physically, he can still function,
Yeah.
but he cannot communicate.
So like he literally can't. I mean, like he can. So like he can't talk at this point.
It'll come out like nonsense. It'll come out like blah, 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 blah. You know? And in
Wow.
his head, he thinks he's saying, "Can I have a cup of water?" But it'll come out pork chicken fries, you know? Just a jarble of words and a jarble of sound.
Wow.
So
That
he's
sucks,
lost
man.
his ability to communicate.
So I think they announced that this was it for him. That he's not doing any more films at all right now.
He
I
retired.
believe.
He retired. But it also makes me wonder if that's the reason why on set he had to have an earpiece to say his lines.
Wow, I didn't
Towards
know
the
that.
end of his career, he had to have an earpiece to say his lines. A lot of things start falling into place when you find out about the diagnosis and you found out and you look at his behavior for the past I think it's 5 to 10 years.
Jeez. Wow, that sucks, man. Well, I
You
mean, on a positive note, what's one of your favorite Bruce Willis movies of all time?
know, other than one of the greatest Christmas movies, Die Hard. Um,
Other than yeah,
believe it or not, I actually like Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk. I don't think I know that one.
Dude, it was considered like one of the top 10 worst movies ever. Um, but I liked it. I just thought it was fucking goofy.
why do
I
I
thought it
why do I
was
feel
super
like
goofy.
why do I feel like most of Bruce Willis's movies are like good bad movies? Like
Well,
most of his movies are just that.
not all of them. I mean, like Die Hard was excellent.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
Die
Die
Hard's
Hard
definitely.
2 was excellent. Die Hard 3 was good. Die Hard 4 wasn't that bad. And then 5 on up, it just turned into nonsense.
There was a fifth Die
Um,
Hard.
yeah.
Wait, there
They
was.
went to Russia,
I don't know if I saw that.
saved his son. Oh, it's
I
terrible.
gotta, I gotta go. I don't think I know that. Oh, actually, no. I think I do know that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that was part three. I thought that was four for some reason.
One of the first movies he made was called Blind Date. That was pretty funny.
I do remember that one.
Moonlighting, of course, was tremendous. Look Who's Talking, he was really good. Look Who's Talking 2 was
Look
terrible.
Who's Talking was I loved. I forgot about that one. Look Who's Talking was really good. I
The
did like
Last
that one.
Boy Scout, I wish there was a part 2 to it.
Yeah, that was actually good. I like
Yeah.
Last Boy Scout.
Pulp Fiction, he did an amazing job.
I just love Pulp Fiction in general. I just freaking love that show. I mean, movie.
In Four Rooms, he was really good in Four Rooms too.
I feel like anything he does with Quentin Tarantino is like gold.
Yeah. Fifth Element was good.
Yeah,
You know,
that's probably out of most of his movies, that's probably my favorite one.
yeah.
Next to like Die Hard with a Vengeance. Die Hard with a Vengeance, classic. I love Die Hard with a Vengeance. Good one.
Um, Sixth Sense, the movie
Yeah,
won an Oscar.
that was actually
Uh,
very different for him. That
well,
playing that
yeah,
role was different.
very different.
So,
The whole nine yards was another good movie he was in, and he
oh
actually
yes.
oh, hell, co-star's name from Friends.
Oh, the guy that played Chandler.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Matthew Perry bet Bruce Willis that this movie will be a hit. Right? He goes, "Listen, if I win, you have to appear on Friends for free." He goes, "If you win, I'll give you like 50K or some obnoxious amount of
Stop
money like that."
playing.
Swear to God. And that's why Bruce Willis appeared on Friends, because he lost the bet, because the whole 9 yards was on Friends.
Wow. That is actually a really interesting fact right there. I did not know that. I was
Yeah,
actually just going to mention like, hey, Bruce Willis appeared on Friends. I was just about to say that too.
appeared on 3 episodes. Um, Unbreakable, I thought was crap.
Side note, it's kind of funny that in the movie The Whole Nine Yards, Matthew Perry was dating Will Smith's daughter. And in Friends, Matthew Perry was dating Will Smith's daughter. Literally the same exact storyline.
Do you know, like, I stopped watching Friends after the 5th season?
Why?
I couldn't relate to it. It went from being single to settling down. And so I was in my super single phase. So when they started settling down, I was like, whatever, I don't care. Go back to the single people.
I
I'm
will
serious.
admit,
I'm serious.
I did kind of feel like I do feel like Friends before they settle down is more interesting, is more funny than when they settle down. I will 100% admit I felt the same way. You
Yeah.
know, I still love the show even after they settle down, but it's just the things, the storylines, like the things they did, the things they went through before they got married and all that was just so funny. It was just so good. You know what I mean? And it's just different when they settle down and have kids and get married and stuff like that. It's just different. It doesn't hit the
Yeah.
same.
And that's the only show that has it's based in New York where you don't see any Latinos
Oh my goodness
and
gracious.
barely any black people. What the fuck, bro? Have you been to New York? There's a bodega on every corner. All right?
Well, there's a
Black
certain
people
part
are
of New York.
everywhere. Okay? You're going to tell me that in Friends they couldn't have any? At least Ross had a black girlfriend. I'll give him that much.
Ross
But
did have
that's
a black
all
girl.
you really see.
Ross did have a black girlfriend. Yeah. I guess
Dude,
what they were doing was they were following that particular group of friends on their journey. I don't know. I just love the show.
but think about it, man. Listen, I don't care. Look, unless you're like Donald Trump living in your fucking tower, right?
Yeah.
That where you would barely see anyone who's not white and rich. Okay.
Yeah.
But any Joe Schmo in New York, they're going to see everybody. And their apartment is fucking unbelievable. Like, there is no apartments that big. If that was an actual New York apartment, that'd be like a multi-million-dollar apartment.
That actually was a nice apartment. I will admit that was a nice apartment. I
Dude,
was like,
that's like
wow, like
3
what?
or
Where
4
was
New
that
York City
at?
apartments put together.
Yeah, that was actually pretty huge. That was pretty huge. I was like, man, I wish my first apartment looked like that. That was amazing.
Bro,
It
that'd be
see,
huge for Wisconsin.
yeah, that was pretty big, pretty big. So yeah, Bruce Willis, best of luck to him, best of luck to his family, and I hope he is at least able to live a healthy life, to the best of his ability from here on out.
Yeah.
So, like I said,
But the thing is, too, is also he's from Jersey. Okay, Bruce Willis.
Jersey
And a lot of
man.
us, yeah, he's from Jersey. And a lot of us from Jersey, we don't like to depend on anybody for anything.
Yeah,
It's just very much a Jersey thing. Like, yo, I got this,
yeah,
And I really do hope that he can emotionally go through it, you know, uh, because he's going to need help. And I hope he finds a way to get it and get the support that he needs to get through this.
yeah. True indeed. Like I said, in closing, I can officially say I was in a movie with Bruce Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people can say that.
That's very true.
All right, so let's jump into one more topic before we jump into our main topic here. DC has a new president of DC Studios. A new owner, shall I say. Let me see. Actually,
Do you want me to break it down? How it
yeah,
works?
you break it down because you understand it a lot better than I do.
So Discovery bought Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers owns DC. Warner Brothers also owns HBO. So now Discovery, the people who make all those documentaries,
Yeah.
now own DC Comics, now own
Ooh,
HBO.
that's big.
That's huge.
That's big.
And if you go to HBO Plus, there's Cartoon Network on there too.
Yes, I did see that. I was like, Cartoon Network, why is that on here? But that makes sense now.
You know what? Damn, like I don't have my HBO Plus logged in here.
HBO Max?
HBO Max, excuse me.
Yeah.
HBO Max.
So yeah, why you're looking?
Harry Potter is on there. Friends is on there.
Yeah.
Dune is on there. Looney Tunes is on there.
I need to watch Dune, by the way. I keep like watching it. I keep starting it, but then I just never finish it because it's so long. I gotta put like 3.5 hours aside to sit down and watch it.
All right, so let's break this down. Discovery now owns HBO, HBO Max, DC, right? According to HBO Max, Sesame Street, Turner Movie Classics, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Looney Tunes, and Cartoon Nitro. And Studio Ghibli, Ghibli, which is anime stuff. So Discovery just went from being the documentary person to now documentary and reality shows, from documentary and reality shows to now a huge entertainment corporation.
Yeah, that's huge, man. That's huge.
Yes. Which also means Discovery now has the possibility of piggybacking on their DC productions by making documentaries on how it's made. So now they could take their documentary department and make documentaries on the movies they're making. So now you have all this um, um,
Cross pollination, so to speak.
thank you, cross pollination of their products. So if a movie's not that great, but their effects were tremendous, you're gonna watch Discovery Plus,
Yeah.
and see the documentaries on that. So now they could do all these documentaries on DC and fill up that up. They could do documentaries on Looney Tunes. It's like there's so much Discovery now has by owning this, by owning Warner Brothers and owning all these other properties.
Yeah. True. The deal, side note, went through for $43 billion. Warner Media. This
Which
is
I think
huge.
is an actual bargain.
Yeah, that is a bargain compared to compared to what they're getting. I would have thought it would have been more than that. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but I would have thought it would have been way at least like in the 70s, close to the 80s, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. It makes
So,
me wonder why it was sold off so cheaply.
a lot of people are wondering if it was because DC was probably going through an identity crisis. The DCEU films were pretty scatterbrained at this moment. They're kind of all over the place. We don't know what's going on with Batman. We don't know what's going on with Superman.
I
We don't know what the
personally
hmm?
believe there is no more DCEU.
I'm I hate to say it, but I kind of agree with you. I don't think there is. Look at what we talked about a few days ago. The video that we posted on YouTube, by the way, guys, check it out. Ezra Miller. He might be getting replaced as Flash. He's like losing his mind. We don't know what's going on with the future of Batman and things like that. And who knows what's happening with the Justice League? That's probably not even a thing anymore. Like what is the future of DC? Like everything is kind of in the air, and I felt like they probably got it at a bargain because DC, whoever was running DC was like, you know what? Just take it. Just take it. I don't know what to do with this anymore. Just take it. I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
So you're
So
literally looking at the last possible DCEU movie is Shazam 2. Because The Flash is DCEU, Aquaman 2 is DCEU,
yeah,
Flash 2 is DCEU, and it's dead.
yeah, we don't know what's happening from here. It's
Yeah.
it's. I mean, some people, I read a lot of information about this online. Some people said that there could be a chance that um that Warner could be looking at this accusation. I mean this merger
Acquisition.
acquisition as maybe whoever's coming over to take over could be possibly the next Kevin Feige, which
Yeah.
could be a possibility. I mean, we need a Feige. We need somebody who has passion to come into this, business, or to come into DC and say, all right, let's fix this. Let's make some good artistic films here. Like let's do some work. Hopefully we can get somebody with some passion who wants to actually do some work here because we need that right now.
You need the passion of Kevin Smith with the business knowledge of Feige.
Yes,
That's what you
100
need.
100% agree. So I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. This is a great merger. There's so many like resources that DC can use from Discovery. Discovery is huge. They have so many resources. So I'm really interested to see like the collaborations that we can have here. And I just wonder what's gonna happen with the future films. Like, are they gonna try to I hope they don't reboot everything because a lot of things don't need to be reboot. We don't need another Batman movie that talks about how his parents died. We don't need that for the billionth time. So I'm just really curious to see with this merger, what are they going to do with these films? How are they going to handle it? What's the future going to look like?
I think that the future for the next 5 years is going to be shaky. You need to shuffle the deck. And then once the deck is shuffled, then you can actually deal out a hand and see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they're going to start focusing on the other characters in DC. The Question, for one.
Yeah.
Are they going to go with a Nightwing movie? Are they going to There's already a Batgirl movie in talks. There's all these other characters that you could play with. I would love to see a Question movie.
Yeah. True. I would kind of like them to go the Marvel route and give us some TV shows about, I mean, like you have HBO Max. Like give us some shows about some characters that might need to sit in the oven for a little bit before you put them on the big screen. Look at what we're getting
I
with Moon Knight.
if HBO Max, if Discovery keeps the HBO Max formula in the way it goes, I don't see that happening because HBO Max doesn't feel complete, you know? Um like nothing seems very put together in it, you know?
Hmm.
And it's very and it's very segregated as far as what it recommends for you, what are you looking at and things like that. When you look at Disney has their banner up front. Look at, something from Star Wars, something from Marvel, something from National Geographic. Like
Yeah.
all these things are just constantly flashing and everything they suggest is very mixed.
Yeah.
But when you go to HBO Max, it's not really that mixed and they're trying to push their own content first and none of their content really seems all that interesting.
Yeah. I agree. I
So
mean,
it needs to mature, you know.
yeah, it definitely does.
Netflix is another one who needs to mature. Like they recommend the same thing like 4 or 5 times, and you're like, I don't want that.
Yeah. Netflix just has a lot of stuff though. Netflix has a lot. I mean, granted, there's options because they have a lot of subscribers. They got to have something up there for everybody. So,
They do, but I just kind of feel like their recommendations aren't very intelligent.
yeah.
Like the interface is not very intelligent.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that this merger can really lead to something special with DC. I'm a very big DC fan, as everybody knows, pretty evident. I talk about it all the time. Um, I just want to see something fresh. I want to see something new,
all right.
and I hope this merger just means something. I hope it just doesn't just be a merger just to be a merger. Like do something with it.
One quick thing, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Name me one HBO Max original TV show.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Um, IMDb.
No. I'm serious. See, that's my point. HBO Max isn't the. There's a Tokyo Vice TV series. There's a TVC called Minx about um pornography. There's a Julia Child miniseries. Another one called Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers.
Yeah.
There's a Black Lady sketch show which I've never heard of. My Brilliant Friend I never heard of.
Yeah.
Game Theory, The Invisible Plot, Smalls, Thaw, Rux,
Yeah.
One
I
Tree
don't.
Hill. Like there's all this stuff that nobody hears about.
Yeah, they don't. I feel like I want to say I don't feel like they promote their TV shows as much because I don't know any of those shows. Like you're saying that stuff, and I'm like, it sounds like stuff that you would find like at the very bottom of the streaming app. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, they
This is
promote the heck out of their movies.
this is on the forefront of their streaming app.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I see why you say that DC might not invest into their Marvel TV shows if some people probably don't even know about their regular TV shows that they have now.
The only real TV show people know about is Doom Patrol and Young Justice.
Yeah, Doom Patrol. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's probably the only one that I do know about because I want to take the time to watch it one of these days.
Yeah.
I feel like when HBO Max first came out, we saw a lot of promotion, then it kind of died. I felt like maybe the owners of DC and slash HBO Max just didn't know, like they just didn't have the passion for it anymore. It's just like things just didn't feel the same after a while.
Their biggest push was the Snyder Cut.
Yes, that was part of their heavily promoted thing.
And then nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean everything else was. Oh, we got Matrix day and date. We got Dune day and date. Matrix, by the way, side note, I don't know if you watched it. Horrible.
No. Was it?
Horrible. Like I know we're going on a lot of tangents today, guys, but it's been a long week. I just feel like talking. Um, I don't think we needed the Matrix Resurrections. Is that what it was called? Or yeah, Resurrections. I think that's what it was called. We did not need that movie. What the heck was that? I'm not going to spoil anything. But
And it's
what's the
not on HBO Max anymore.
Yeah, so what it was, so their deal that they do is they have day and date with some movies. It'll stay on the platform for a little bit and then it'll go away. And then it'll come back once it goes to like DVD or something. That's pretty much what they did with most of their movies. They did that with Mortal Kombat, they did that with Dune. So it's like a limited time release when it comes out in the theaters compared to also when it comes out on the streaming service.
Oh, I didn't know
But
that.
yeah. Um yeah, it we didn't need that movie. The Matrix, I felt like it was just like, hey, let's just make some money. What do people like? The Matrix. Let's bring it back. Sure, let's do it. Horrible. Horrible freaking movie. The
They
first the first 30 minutes of the movie I loved. I was like, oh, take that 30 minutes of the movie out and make a separate movie. Cause I love what they were doing there with what is his name in the movie? The one, what the heck is his name?
oh
Neo.
Jet Li.
Neo.
Oh, Neo. Yeah,
Yeah,
Neo.
yeah. I love what they were doing with Neo in like the first 30 minutes. He was like a video game designer trying to find himself. Like I'm not explaining it, I'm not explaining it to the best of my ability, but what they were doing was interesting. I liked it. And then his relationship with Carrie Ann Moss or whatever her, yeah, I think it's Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah.
His relationship with her in the movie was cool. They were both trying to like find themselves. They had some kind of remnants of their previous life, and it was awesome. That would have been great as like a side movie. After that, I was like, what the heck is this movie about? Why are we doing this? It was just nothing but trying to hit that nostalgia button with everybody. That's all it was.
Well, the thing is, too, technology's changed since then. In the original Matrix, you had to look for a payphone.
Yeah.
What do you do now? There's no payphones.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. That's
Remember?
really
Oh, we need a landline. We need a hard line.
yeah.
Luck finding one. What are you running an
Yeah.
office building?
We have no more payphones. That is
Yeah.
so interesting. I did not even think about that. We don't have payphones now. So what are they going to do to transfer? Pick up their smartphone. So yeah, we'll see, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this merger. Hopefully DC can make the best of it. Or Discovery for that matter. All right, so our last news topic that we're going to jump in for the night. Our man, fellow New Jerseyan, Kevin Smith says, I saw a recent article, by the way. My girl picked up an article. It's like, hey, you should talk about this on the show. And I was like, you know what? That's a good freaking idea. Los and I love Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith said in a recent article that he wants to Snyder cut one of his own movies. We don't know what. He hasn't mentioned which one yet, but he said he would like to. So, Los, if you were to pick any Kevin Smith movie to be Snyder cut, or I guess Smith cut for that matter, what would you want to pick?
Oh, well, it's got to be from one of his View Universe films. His Canadian stuff just, ugh.
It's weird.
Yeah, like Walrus. I did not like.
I'm trying to think which movie would I want him to Snyder
Yoga
cut?
Hosers, I didn't like.
I have one.
What?
If I wanted Kevin Smith to Smith cut one of his movies, I would want him to redo Chasing Amy. I love that movie. I freaking love that movie. Why you make that face?
Because certain pieces of Chasing Amy remind me of my life.
Ah, okay.
So
he's like, I don't want to see my life again.
No, I mean it was a great movie, absolutely great movie, and at that time I had a crush on what's her face in that movie.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. What is her name? Let's see who finds it first. Who will find it first? Joey Lauren Adams.
Joey Lauren Adams. I had such a crush on her at that time.
Yeah, she was cool. She was like the actress of like the 90s and 80s. Like,
Yeah.
She was the it girl for sure. But yeah, I freaking love that movie. I think one of the things I loved about that movie, one of the things I loved about a lot of Kevin Smith movies was one of the things I loved about a lot of what is his name? Quentin Tarantino movies. I love interesting dialogue. I love movies that rely heavily on dialogue. It's just so interesting to me. We don't get a lot of movies like that anymore. You know, like good dialogue heavy movies that like make you think and that entertain you through the dialogue. You know, that's what I loved about that movie. And I guess maybe it's like a nostalgia thing for me. It kind of reminds me of like my life during that time and things like that. So I would have to pick Chasing Amy. If I had him, Kevin Smith cut a movie, I would want to see Chasing Amy again.
Um, for me, it would be up between Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back
Good pick. Good pick.
and Dogma.
I forgot about Dogma. I completely forgot about that.
Do you know why?
Why Dogma?
Um, because Kevin Smith doesn't own Dogma.
Really?
Harvey Feinstein, you know who I'm talking about? The one who's in jail for raping all those women?
I gotta no, I gotta look it up. Hold on.
Hold on. Weinstein.
Oh,
Harvey
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Okay.
Remember one of the that he went to jail, the big fat guy? Bro, if you look
Oh
him up,
yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I see it. All
he
right, man.
owned Dogma. So it's not on a streaming service.
Interesting.
So that's why people forgot about it.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that movie. So I mean, that does kind of fall into the lines of a Snyder Cut type of film because he didn't own it, so he goes back and remakes it. Now it's his. I get why you would pick that one. I get it. Makes sense.
Well, the thing is too with that one, he kind of that was his first mature movie, you know. Um, even though you may not think it, it is a heavy topic. So I'm so curious. What are the maybes and what is the other stuff he didn't include in that?
Yeah.
You know. And Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It was such a crazy movie. I'm curious what other like shit he invented for it.
I'm sure he has a lot of scenes and a lot of things he probably cut from that movie that he just, man, like with that movie being what it was, I would love to see what the unedited version or like the uncensored version of that movie would be.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. So yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely love to see any of those movies plus Chasing Amy. Like it'd be interesting to see if he actually goes through it and see what movie he picks, you know?
yeah.
Kevin Smith was definitely one of my favorite indie directors of the 90s. I love his work. Yeah, I would love to see him go at it again. It's just that him directing something now would be totally different than him directing something back in the early 90s. So it's like, how would that look? Like, will it still, like, if he did Chasing Amy again, what would that look like in 2022, 2023?
Yeah.
What would that feel like? You know, it would be totally different. His mindset was different during that time. So it'd be different
But
to see
he
what he
is
goes.
going back to his movies. Like he is making a Clerks 3.
I did hear about that. Yes. He's working on a
He
script, right? I think,
doing I'm sorry?
isn't he just writing the script right now or is he in post?
No,
I
he's
mean,
directing it.
oh,
Also, Twilight of the Mallrats. He's it's in pre-production right now.
get
His
out of
Mallrats trilogy.
here. Get out of here. I didn't know
Yep.
that. Oh, man. We're back in the Kevin Smith era, chat.
Yeah. So I want to see those. I want to see what he's going to do. And a lot of this comes from the simple fact that he had a heart attack and he was like, and he survived his heart attack. He was like, people love these movies. Why did I stop?
Yeah, you know what? I do I follow him on Instagram and I do remember him saying something about that. About how his heart attack made him think about life, made him think about his work and things like that. And he wants to get back into work. I mean, I think it's great, man. I love his work. I want to see some of his previous style of making films. I would love to see that again.
Yeah. The
So
only thing is, I love Kevin Smith. Don't get me wrong. But the one thing I don't like about him is he doesn't move the camera.
he doesn't
He's
move the camera. What do you
no.
mean?
Look at his movies. Almost everything is locked off. You have the shot, it's locked off. There's very little panning, there's very little tilting, there's
He
very
doesn't.
little
Yeah, you're
follow
right.
throughs and motions. He
Yeah.
really does direct for actors and let the actors' performance tell the story, not the camera.
But you know what? I think that's what I liked about his films. That was endearing about his films is that, yeah, we didn't get a lot of panning. We barely got any camera movement at all. And I didn't even think about that until you said it. But yeah, he does rely heavily on his actors. But that's what makes his movies unique, though.
But
You
look
know?
at John Hughes. John Hughes did the exact same thing, but there's still camera motions in there.
Yeah, true indeed. True indeed.
But
That's why,
he does it in such a way that it follows the story.
yeah, that's why I said
John
it'd be
Hughes,
really, it'd be really interesting to see what he does like now, like how, like Clerks 3, what's the other movie you said that he's making?
the Mall
Mallrats.
Rats,
Yeah,
Killmonger
like
was here.
it's gonna be interesting seeing him revisit those old franchises and see what's going to change with the Kevin Smith of now compared to the Kevin Smith of back then, how we did those movies now compared to, I mean, then
Yeah.
compared to now. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be
Listen,
interesting.
Kevin Smith is such an influence that some guys, and I think they're from Canada,
Hmm.
is making a movie about the making of Clerks.
He's making a movie about the making of Clerks. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called Shooting Clerks. It hasn't been released yet. They did edit the thing. Kevin Smith did watch it, and Kevin Smith cried throughout the movie because he was like, "Oh my God, they got everything." And when they interviewed the people who made the movie, they said, "We got all of this from Kevin Smith talking about the making of Clerks." So they figured out a
Wow.
timeline of everything that happened. They wrote a script, they shot it, directed it, edited the whole thing, and it's about the making of Clerks, called Shooting Clerks.
Talk about some diehard fans, man. That is
Yeah,
that's diehard. That is
yeah.
really diehard. Jeez. All right. So on the topic of talking about Snyder cutting or Smith cutting a movie, if you were to Snyder cut any movie you want, what would it be?
The Breakfast Club.
Good pick. We just had a podcast episode about that, guys. Go watch it.
The reason why is most people don't know that there is an alternate cut of The Breakfast Club.
Really, there
It
is?
is, yes, it is 45 minutes to an hour because it's never been confirmed. 45 minutes to an hour longer. It was
Wow.
John Hughes' original cut of the movie that only exists in his archive. I want to
Wow.
see that. I want to see that. I want to see what a weekend of writing becomes a movie and how much more there was to that movie.
That is so interesting. I did not know that. Good pick. Good pick. Um, if I, all right, wait. So before I ask, well, make my statement. So, would you want the original cast? Like, would you want like an up to? Oh yeah, I forgot you just said. So it would be new kids basically.
Yes.
Never mind. Yeah,
But
it'd
if
be
I
new
was
kids.
to recast and shoot and do some changes to the script to The Breakfast Club, do I think I have the skills to do it? Yes, I do. Only because of how much John Hughes influenced my filmmaking.
That would be interesting to see a Los cut of the Breakfast Club. I would love to see what you would do with that.
Oh, guaranteed. Right now, I'm going to tell you across the board, I would change a bunch of the races in the movie.
Of course, of course.
And I would go against type for a couple things.
Interesting.
Yes, like the Molly Ringwald's character
Yeah.
would be Asian. 100% be Asian. Okay. The athlete, I would leave as a white boy.
Mhm.
But the rocker, I'd have a black guy do it because it's against caste.
Yeah, totally true.
And
I like that idea.
because people just have this idea of like, oh, if you're black, you can listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You know, have you ever heard of the band Living Color?
Yeah, yeah. I love
Perfect
that band,
example.
by the way. Great music.
Great fucking music.
If nobody's ever chat, if you guys have not listened to Living Color, check him out. Good music.
Yeah. Like I would never do the nerd as a black man because of Urkel.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and that's just going back to like this weird nostalgia throwback type of
Yeah.
thing that I wouldn't do. I would have probably the geek or the weirdo as Latino,
Mm.
and then the other race I would do Arab.
Nice pick. Okay.
But my one rule is nobody talks about the race.
Yeah.
Like you can't sit there at any point and talk about, you know, oh well, you're black. Well, why do you listen to rock music? No, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, because it's too typical. I hate when movies do that. You know, it's like
Yeah,
I get it. You want to make a story about it, but can we talk about something else, please? You know, like why do we gotta put like a flag out there? Why do we gotta like ring an alarm? Like, hey, I'm a black guy who likes rock music. Just so you like, no, just let it be what
yeah.
it is. Who
Listen,
cares?
that's one of the things I liked about Star Trek was they didn't bring it up. Understand?
Yeah,
It was never a thing. It wasn't like, you know, like Sulu when he used the sword to fight in the hallways, he used the rapier, not a samurai sword.
yeah.
You know, no one ever said. The only one time they actually spoke about Lieutenant Uhura being black was when they bought a replica of Abraham Lincoln on the Enterprise. Don't ask. It was the third season. It was really bizarre. And he mentioned something, but
Okay.
that's what I like. Like you had an Indian English guy play the Doctor on Deep Space Nine, and never once was it mentioned.
Yeah,
And I
it's
kind of
just what
think
it
like
is.
I'd want to carry that over, but
Yeah.
I would actually have um, Judd Nelson play the part of the teacher.
Ooh, that'd be an interesting pick.
I would have Anthony Michael Hall play the part of the janitor.
Anthony Michael Hall. I gotta I gotta look him up again.
The nerd.
Oh, wow. That would be that'd be kind of ironic because his dad was the janitor in the movie.
Yeah.
That'd be ironic.
Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy would have to play the moms that drop off the kids.
Wow. They'd be like, yeah, I had to go through this when I was your age.
Do you know in the original version of the script there was a female teacher in the building also?
Really?
Yeah. And he
I,
got taken out.
I thought it was kind of interesting that he was like the only like staff in the building, but it kind of makes sense. It was Saturday detention. Nobody's going to come to work if they don't have to. You know, makes sense.
I work at a school system. It's usually a security guard, a custodian, and a teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's
so
a
that was
security
like,
guard.
oh yeah, you're right. There wasn't a security. I mean, it probably was there. They just didn't show him. So makes
Yeah, but
sense.
if I would modernize it, maybe I would take Ali Sheedy to be the security guard.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Breakfast Club is a good pick. That's definitely a good
And
pick.
you, if you had to reboot a movie, what would you do?
If I wanted a movie to be remade, what movie would I pick? I would love to see Bram Stoker's
No,
Dracula.
no, no. What movie would you, as a director, would like to remake, and who are your possible cast picks?
Wow. Okay, so I'll take that one back. Um, I would personally would want to do Scream. Like I would do the first Scream over again, which would be very hard to do because I think the first Scream is impeccable. It's a perfect film. Because anybody who knows me, I'm a big horror guy. I love Wes Craven. Wes Craven is like the king of horror. Um, I just love that movie. I would remake it not just to try to make it better because it's an amazing film, but I would remake it because I just think it'd be fun. It's such a smart movie. It makes fun of itself. It makes fun of the horror genre in general. It breaks the third wall multiple times. It's a very unique horror film, and I don't think we've ever had a film like that ever since. And films tried to be like Scream, but they just couldn't pull it off. Um, as
Okay.
far as casting,
Yep.
that is a tough question. Um, geez, who I would at least try to figure out Sydney. So who would I want to play Sydney? Um, man, give me some actresses. Give me some random actresses. I gotta think about that one.
Okay, here's a better question.
Okay.
Okay, would you take any of the actors from Stranger Things?
Okay. Better question. Would I pick any actors from Stranger Things? 100%. Um, Let me actually pull up the actors from Stranger Things so I can actually get their names right.
And would you pull any actors who are currently on Disney or were on Disney?
If I was to pull any actors from Stranger Things, I would definitely pick Millie Brown, who plays 11. She would be Sydney. I think her range is amazing. I love her in Stranger Things. She was also in a TV show on a movie on Netflix. I can't think of the name right now. But she's an amazing actress. So I would have her play Sydney because of her
Is
range.
she in the correct age range?
I
Because I
believe. Let me see. Millie Brown. How old is she? Wow, she's born in 2004. That's so crazy to see that. So she's born in 2004. How old would she be?
oh, she's 18. Yeah, she.
She's 18. So yeah, so she'd be about the right range. That's high school age. So yeah, I would pick Millie, who plays 11 in Stranger Things. I would pick her to play Sydney. If I was to pick another person from Stranger Things, which I think he would be great for the role, I would pick Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike in Stranger Things. I would have him play the killer, who was dating Sydney in the movie.
Okay.
I just like his look. He looks like he would be that weird boyfriend who is obsessed with movies and wants to kill his girlfriend. Like I think he would play that role good. Um, I'm trying to think. All the other characters from Scream are kind of like, nobody really. I don't know.
Okay. So who from the original cast would you want to do a cameo or play a major role?
I would want to get the guy who plays Dewey. Like he has to be the cameo. Um, what is his name? Jeez. Oh man, what is his name again? I feel bad that I don't know his name because let me see. 1 second, chat.
Who plays what character?
Dewey. David Arquette.
Really, David Arquette?
I would get David Arquette to come back because he's so iconic in that series. Like everybody knows Dewey.
Such a bad.
Huh?
He's such a bad actor.
I mean, yeah, but like Scream. But the thing is, if you're a fan of Scream, 9 times out of 10, you're probably a fan of Dewey.
You know who I
He's
thought you were gonna pick?
who?
Matthew Lillard, the one who
Matthew
played
Lillard?
Stewart. Yeah, he played Stewart. He also played Shaggy in the Scooby Doo movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nah, not really. I wouldn't really pick him.
Really? Oh, I think he's
Legion
a
in
great actor.
Legion in chat says I was thinking of the guy Paul Gleason. Paul
Paul Gleason.
Gleason.
I gotta
Who?
look that up now.
Paul Gleason. I'm not sure who that is. Let me know when you
That's
find him.
Vern. That's Vernon from the Breakfast Club. I would want Judd Nelson, Bender, to play Vernon.
Oh, okay. I can see that. I can see that. Going back to our Breakfast Club
Yeah,
conversation, I can see
because
that.
it'd be a role reversal.
Yeah,
And
I
now he's
think.
at the age that Vernon was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be a pretty cool role reversal. Um, but yeah, like I said, I would pick Dewey to make a comeback or like a cameo in my version of Scream because, like I said, a lot of people who are fans of Scream love Dewey. He's next to Sydney. I mean, he's an iconic character. Gail is cool, she's annoying, but whatever. But it's Sydney and Dewey. Like that's the top two dogs in that movie. Nev Campbell have her come back as a cameo. I feel like that's too like that would be expected. So I would go with
Okay,
Dewey.
here's a question for you. Would you bring what is her name? Drew Barrymore back?
Oh yes, yes. Um, Jeez, if I brought Drew back. I would have Drew be the partner's, be the killer's partner, just because she died in the first movie. So have her come back and be the killer in this movie. Like
Okay,
I would just do that.
interesting choice.
I would just
We
do
should
that.
do a podcast on that.
That actually is a really good
Recasting and
idea.
remaking one of our favorite movies.
That's a good idea. We had like 2 good ideas for podcasts just in this one episode. Write
Yeah,
that
dude, we
down,
gotta do that.
Legion. Write that down. Send that to me in Discord, just in case I forget, because I will forget that. Just remind me. So yeah, that's what I would pick. I would want to. I don't even want to say Snyder Cut because I feel like that's disrespecting to Wes. May he rest in peace. But if I was to remake a movie, if I was to do my own version of a movie, I would do Scream because it is hands down, well, I would say my favorite horror movie of all time. Period. I
Okay.
freaking love it. So,
5 second question, just one quick answer. A non-horror movie would you remake, and which one would it be? And then we'll save that for the other podcast.
oh, you want me to answer that, or you want me to say
Yeah,
for
no,
the
I want you to answer that. Just on the top of your head.
a
Because when we get into
non-horror,
the podcast itself, it'll be different.
yeah, a non-horror movie that I would remake, just literally off the top of my head, Ninja Turtles.
I could see you doing Ninja Turtles.
I love it. The first one is probably the best out of any that were ever made.
Yes.
No other one has ever been like that one. That one was serious yet funny, yet followed the comics, yet followed the cartoons. It's the best Ninja Turtle movies. Period. So
Believe it
I
or
would.
not, I could see you directing Ninja Turtles. I can do that. Absolutely, I could see you doing that.
I freaking love that movie. So really quick question, and also before we get out of here, if you were to remake any video game, what would it be and why?
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun. I'll go first if you want.
yeah, please, because I need a moment to think about it.
If I was to remake any video game, what would it be and why? That this is a
As a
really
movie or a game?
as a okay, as either one, whichever one you want. All right, so I guess I'll change my question then. What video game would I remake as a movie? Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm just gonna go remake as a game first. Splatterhouse. I don't know if you remember Splatterhouse from back in the day on the, I believe it was on the Sega Genesis. You played this character that was pretty much dressed up as Jason. He had a hockey mask and everything. It was basically a knockoff Jason. And he went through a haunted house, killing souls and killing monsters and demons. It was freaking cool. I'm surprised we don't have a Splatterhouse remake already. Splatterhouse, the video game from, I'm actually going to pull it up right now because I want to see when this came out. Just so I can do it justice. Splatterhouse. Oh, actually, I lied. They did do a remake already. It came out on the Xbox 360.
Oh, they did?
Yes, it did. I actually forgot about that. Splatterhouse was a beat 'em up arcade game developed and published by Namco. It originally came out in November of 1988. Oh, it came out in Japan of 88. In America, it came out in 89. It originally came out in the arcade, and then it eventually came to Sega. I think it was only on Sega. I could be wrong. For anybody who wants to correct me, just write in the comments or in chat and let me know. But yeah, Splatterhouse. I forgot it was remade. Yeah, it came out. It came out on the Dreamcast. I don't remember when it came out for the Dreamcast. But yeah, it apparently came out for the Dreamcast. A remake. Yeah.
Okay, so movie?
What game would I turn into a movie?
And it could be a trilogy too, to make it easier for you.
And it could be a trilogy. What video game would I make a movie? I would love to see Horizon Zero Dawn as a movie. I don't know if you played that game.
No.
I'll pull up the trailer for you in a minute. Let me actually pull it up for you right now so you can check it out. Horizon Zero Dawn, you basically play a female who is living in a post apocalyptic world filled with robot dinosaurs and animals, and she's pretty much trying to save the world from abomination. It's funny because when you're playing the game, you're discovering relics from our time. So like she's finding cups, let's say from the year 2020. She's like, wow, this is what they used to drink from. And it's so interesting seeing her interacting with things from our time that seems so alien like to them during that time because there's so many light years into the future that they like the way they live like tribes people basically compared to how we live now, but their technology is so far advanced than what we are. It's a really interesting game. They just came out with part two, Horizon Forbidden West on the PS5 and PS4. So I think that would make a great movie, actually. Um, I'm gonna see if I can find a trailer for you right now. But yeah, I think that would be a pretty good movie. So, what about you?
Okay.
What game would you make into a
Um,
movie?
what game would I remake? Um, I don't know. Because to me, games kind of fit in the era that they were created. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like to bring one modern would be tough for me. Um,
that is kind of
because
tough
I
because
can't
yeah,
think of, maybe maybe one of the original Zeldas.
oh, that'd be a good choice. Zelda as a
One of the
movie?
original Zeldas.
That would
Yeah.
be a good movie.
No, 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 no. Remake the game.
Oh, remake the game. Okay. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we're getting so many
Because
different Zelda games now
if
too.
you took
Yeah,
that Zelda, move it into third person, keep the same adventure, but complicate the castles a little bit, I think it would work. It would still be interesting.
that's kind of what we're getting with. That's kind of what we got with Zelda Breath of the Wild. Because it is in third person. And they do have some dungeons and things like that. I've never finished Zelda. It was a pretty good game. But Zelda that we have now is more open world compared to what it was then. Like it was semi, I guess you can call it open world for the Nintendo in a sense. Um, but yeah, I do feel like I mean you're right. I do agree. Some games I feel like it is kind of hard to transport to the big screen because that's what makes video games so special because it's a medium that you can interact with. You know what I mean? And a lot of them just won't translate to the screen as well because that's what makes it unique is your interaction with it compared to just sitting there just watching it on screen. It's like, how does that translate?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, the specific game would be Zelda: A Link to the Past.
of
That's the
people
one I would remake.
a lot of people love that game. That is a classic. That is a classic.
Now,
So
as for movies, I would take Assassin's Creed, but a specific time period. I would do the Ezio story
that'd be a good movie. That would be a good movie. That'd
because
probably be
you'd
better than the movie we
have,
got.
yeah, you'd have. I think it's Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelation. That's what I would do.
Interesting.
And if I couldn't get it as three movies, I would love to um do it as a TV series. 3 seasons, 8 parts.
I think a TV series would actually be pretty cool. I think I would like
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Because to me that is the height of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
That is when the story, like, it was 3 games with one story, one character from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And that to me was amazing as a game. So I would love to see that as a, again, maybe not a movie, maybe a TV series.
Yeah. I think they should do it. Ubisoft, make it happen. Um Los, do you want to leave the people with anything before we get out of here? Those are our picks for what we would
Any
make.
suggestions or stuff like that?
Any suggestions? Any final thoughts? Any words of encouragement?
Oh, one last thing about Assassin's Creed, my movies.
Okay.
I would want it to star Odette Ferrer. Ferrer? I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
All dead
Did you
forever.
ever see The Mummy?
Yes. Oh, the guy who played the mummy?
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
not the one who played the mummy. The one with the long hair who was the protector
The long black hair?
with the tattoos on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tattoos on his face. That's who I'd want to play Ezio.
I can see that. He has the like he would have the accent for it, he would have the look. I can actually see that. That's a good idea.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. But as far as suggestions are concerned, I would have to say, and I know this is just typical of me, but Star Trek Picard.
That's all good, man.
Season
It's
two,
season
because
two's out. Nice.
it season two is out. Yeah, because it feels like Star Trek. A lot of the problems with new Trek is they didn't understand what made Star Trek so great was the relationship of the characters and how they are to each other.
Hmm.
And the setting just happened to be this futuristic place. Whereas Discovery, it's all about one character and the world revolves around her. And it isn't like the other shows where you kind of knew everybody and you kind of felt everything. In Star Trek Picard, not only do they have the look right, the technology right, the way they speak is the proper way, they brought the relationships back. So you care about these people as a crew. Or in season one, you were like, eh. Season two it's really cohesive. So recommendations to watch: Star Trek Picard season two. Absolutely.
Interesting. I was worried about Picard just being like one of those nostalgia trips. It's like, oh hey, do you remember Picard? Let's bring him back to to try to bring some fans back. But then the show was just like mediocre. Like I was afraid it was just gonna be just like a nostalgia trip, just like all the movies that we're getting nowadays, basically.
No, season one is just grim in and it's not fun. But season two, it's has its grim parts, it has its funny parts, but it's really good story.
Hmm.
Really, really good story. And I can't recommend it enough
All right, interesting.
if you're a sci-fi fan.
If you're a sci-fi
Um,
fan, guys, check out Star Trek Picard.
yeah.
Cool.
Also, check out the DJs on Twitch, man. There are some really good DJs on Twitch now who have like very limited followers, but are really like they're literally DJing for like an audience of 5. And they
Yeah.
are giving it their all, and they're absolutely amazing, and it surprises me. And there are some DJs who literally broadcast every night, and there's one guy which I don't remember his name because all he does is oldies, right?
Hmm.
And as a DJ, I'm like, oh shit, I like this oldies. But then after 2 or 3 of his mixes, which all car crash, I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm done. But there are other guys who are just amazing. And this is the first time where I see female DJs get a strong audience and a strong following. A lot of female DJs, for some odd reason, don't have confidence in their skills, and a lot of them are fucking amazing. I don't know why they don't have that confidence. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd recommend music-wise, follow some DJs on Twitch. These guys are working hard and they put a lot of effort into their skills, and they're literally playing for an audience of 5 or 6. I mean, they're giving it their all, and they deserve some attention.
Yeah.
TV, Picard, games. I'm literally just bought the Ezio collection to play on my Switch for
Interesting.
Assassin's Creed. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Cool beans. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
Valhalla because we play that
Oh
and I
yeah,
enjoy that.
dude, we gotta do another Brawlhalla night like soon because that was so much freaking fun. I saw it on my PS5 the
Hell
other
yeah.
day, and I was like, man, I feel like playing some Brawlhalla again.
Dude, whenever you want to play, give me a call because Kira and I are down to play anytime.
Oh well, good to know because I might want to play this weekend. FYI. Oh yeah, no, this weekend
Yep,
you can't,
I'm
right?
down. I'm down whenever you want, but just I need an hour or two of a notice so I can clear things or I can tell you, okay, I'll be done with the dogs at this hour. Let's go.
All right, cool beans. I'm gonna hold you to that because I definitely want to play soon. That's cool. All right. So my recommendation before we get out of here is I know I probably talked about it before. Severance, watch it. Severance is amazing.
Didn't they just get picked up for season 2?
Yes, they got picked up for season 2. So for anybody who doesn't know, Severance is a TV show about a guy, well, multiple people. Current timeline. If you would like to go to work and separate your work life from your personal life, you can get a surgery done that when you go to work, you will not think about or remember at all your life outside of work. You step on the elevator and you have a chip in the back of your head that automatically turns off your outside life and you're switched to your work life. So you don't know if you have a child, you don't know if you have a wife, a family, anything. You just know work. And then same thing for when you go home. You don't know what happened at work and vice versa. This show started off very slow for me. The first 2 episodes, I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. But I'll kind of stay and watch it. The last like 5 episodes, I binged it in like 2 days. The season, I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil this for anybody because it's such a good show. The season finale literally had me on the edge of my seat. It is so good that me and my girl was like screaming at the TV at what was happening. It was freaking insane. I don't think any season finale, any show has ever made me feel like this at the end of the season. You need to watch it. Big ups to Ben Stiller. He directed this. I know Ben Stiller, Zoolander himself. Kind of crazy to think that I didn't know he was directing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. He I think this is his second show. Such a good show. Don't look up anything online. Don't look up any teaser. Don't look up any
I
spoilers.
just have one question about the show.
Okay.
Are there any office romances?
It's not too much of a spoiler, but there is a slight interest. I'll say that. There is interest. The cast is amazing. I was actually surprised at how good the cast was, how good the acting was. It like stick with it. The first 2 episodes, you might be like kind of confused. You might feel like you're probably not going to be interested. Stick with it, because I felt the same way. Because I was after the second episode, I was like, I'm probably not. I'm probably going to fall off on this. I am recommending this to everybody. If you don't have Apple TV Plus, get it. Apple TV Plus is a sleeper. There are movies on Apple TV Plus that is winning awards, winning Oscars, winning Emmys. And like, there is such a good streaming service. There are a lot of sleepers on this show. One of the first deaf actors ever won an Oscar from an Apple TV movie. Get Apple TV. If you have a PS5, you get 6 months free. If you never did it before, you probably get a free trial. Get Apple TV, watch Severance. I promise you, you will freaking love it. And write in the comments, leave a message to me on Discord, and let me know what you think about it. Good freaking show. That's all I gotta say. Other than that, great show today. Appreciate everybody stopping by and hanging out. Legion, love you, man. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Legion.
For hanging out today. Anybody who stopped by and showed us some love. Don't forget, if you guys are watching us live, if you're watching the recorded version of this, leave a like. It will help move us up in the algorithm. Check out our Discord and the show notes. You can catch me and Los over there from time to time, other people in the community, and you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in JHouze Radio. And don't forget, hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/JHouze. And the link will be in the show notes as well. Support the podcast, even if it's just $1. It'll help us get a cup of coffee. Legion in chat says, don't forget your uniform for the next podcast. I'll think about it.
Talking to you.
I'll think about it.
By the way, to my name, buenas, ¿cómo estás?
Yes. Yeah, she's my girlfriend is hanging out in chat, guys. Our reaction to the last episode. Yes, she left an emoji with the shock face. That was definitely our reaction. I'm glad they're getting to season 2, because the way the last episode ended, I am like eagerly waiting for season 2. Eagerly waiting. All right, guys. We are going to get ready to head out of here. Thank you for hanging out today, guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease, and we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Later, guys.